The world is certainly changing with the tremendous need to get the power from the low population areas where it's being generated to the high population areas.
The Illinois River crossings, which was 3 major river crossings as a part of the whole transmission line project, 1 over the Mississippi River, 2 over the Illinois River, major structures, major foundations, a large variety of different types of conditions, both in terms of soils, location. Some of the foundations were actually within the levee system, which means they were exposed to floodwaters. We ultimately selected an all-steel foundation. It's a matter of very precise driving of the steel piles, so your pile driving tolerances are much tighter. And then we incorporated basically a steel tripod, a very heavy structural steel foundation that gets set on the piling. Environmentally, it's a much cleaner solution. And there were 2 other crossings, and there were some contrasts there. The schedule was so tight, we were going into winter conditions. At that point, we ultimately made the decision to use the same type of all-steel tripod foundation. Modify the design slightly. We actually ended up switching pile types. The 3rd crossing was MIX, which was also over the Illinois River, but that was also the largest crossing. So the main span between the tallest towers was 3,700 feet. It's not easy to add piles, where with a conventional concrete footing, concrete column, we could add piles if needed. And so that crossing was successfully completed, the foundations with a more conventional concrete footing and large concrete columns. We really feel like at the completion of these 3 crossings that we've gained a wealth of experience as it relates to designing these types of large transmission line crossings over a river, or whether it's over a rail yard or any large expanse.
Hanson was responsible for the geotechnical work, the foundation design, and also the QA/QC, or the quality control that happened in the field during construction. In addition to those types of foundations, we had a type which was a vibratory-driven caisson, or a big steel pipe, if you will, that was driven into the ground, and we would use these where we had very sandy soils or soils that wanted to slough and cave in a lot. It could literally be driven within minutes, and it was much safer as well. When we ran into angled structures where the transmission line had a bend in it, if you will, we were able to actually move those ties underground and grab a hold of the top of the foundation and tie it back.
So I really like talking with our clients about our environmental permitting. Our environmental scientists are adept at working with our clients and our engineers to do what it takes to get the project permitted.
We have biologists and permitting specialists here at Hanson who work specifically inside of industries. We were able to utilize a combination of GIS and desktop review along with field delineations. And so that really helped us streamline the amount of areas that we need to look at in the field, shorten the time frame, and point out red flags and hot spots much quicker.
Hanson's support of some of the renewable energy with wind farms is beyond just simple environmental permitting, civil structural. We're getting into some of the unique details that many of the wind farms that were built 10, 15 years ago are now in what they call a repowering cycle. That's where the financial incentive from that developer is worthwhile to take a look at. Can they add a new generator on top to generate more power, potentially even with less sites? In addition to that, even some of the solar projects, whether it's a community-sized solar, small utility, again, these are projects where land rights are involved, our experience with land acquisition, and bringing those projects to completion.
We pick up other tasks like working with landowners directly to help them understand what the project's about, and then secure an easement for the project. We've also worked with local roads officials. It takes work on rural roads to build these projects in rural areas, and they have concerns about their roads and how the road is going to be after the project's done, and we're able to address those concerns with them.
I've had people refer to Hanson as an engineer's engineer, where sometimes we get called in for challenges that need to be met for a project to be successful. We were recently asked by a client to help with the later phases of a project, and we helped them bring that project across the finish line. And I took great pride in hearing that one of the lessons learned was get Hanson involved early.